Denver, Colorado, June 24, JT. Photo by Dustin Bradford, Getty Images. To figure out who the best catcher in baseball is, we must start by having a group of the top 5 catchers in baseball to draw from. According to FWAR, here are the top 5 catchers in 2018. While WAR is a great starting point for a conversation, we must understand that it is far from a flawless stat, especially with the defensive intricacies that come with being a catcher. From this list, so far in 2018, 4 catchers have planted themselves in the top 5 in all of baseball. With that being said, Contreras finds himself outside of our Marlin Maniac top 5, with Yadier Molina replacing. This is mostly due to the fact that Contreras ranks 94th out of 96 catchers on the defensive side of the ball. Contreras is coming off a huge year in 2017 and he shows great potential behind the dish, but Molina has been amongst the best, if not the best, catcher in baseball for a decade. While the defensive numbers are the main thing that kills Contreras' quest to be in the top 5, it does not hurt that Yadier Molina also has a comparable 113 WRC to Contreras' 114. Other catchers that have solid arguments for inclusion within the top 5 but fall short of taking home the top spot are Wilson Contreras, Wilson Ramos, Max Stassi, Yasmani Grandal, Yan Gomes and Gary Sanchez. Marlin Maniac Group of 5, no specific order, JT. Real Muto, Francisco Cervelli, Buster Posey, Kurt Suzuki, Yadier Molina, Pitch 2 San Francisco, California, June 18, JT. Photo by Ezra Shaw, Getty Images. The biggest separator between Realmuto and the rest of the catchers in baseball is his talent with the bat. Outside of pitchers, catchers are usually least relied upon for their offensive contributions. As a whole, the catching position has an 86 WRC, which is the worst out of all position groups, excluding pitchers. Because of this, finding a catcher that can hit and handle the defensive responsibilities of the position is no easy task for any front office. Either WRC or OPS are the best catch-all offensive statistics that measure a player's performance relative to the league. In this case, we will be using WRC to rank our top 5 catchers by their offensive abilities. JT Realmuto 150, Francisco Cervelli 140, Kurt Suzuki 124, Buster Posey 118, Yadier Molina 113. On this side of the ball, Realmuto is running away from the group, which is not very surprising. What is surprising is seeing Buster Posey's named 4th on this list. While nobody was expecting Posey to repeat his 2012 MVP season as a 31-year-old catcher, seeing his name behind Cervelli and Suzuki is surprising, even though they are having career years. With Caleb Smith out, who will step up? The recent improvements in JT Realmuto's offensive game also must not be understated. This year, Realmuto is crushing his previous high in WRC, 109, which came back in 2016. Without much help in a barren Marlins lineup, Realmuto has turned himself into a true threat. Page 3. Use your arrows to browse Miami, FL, June 8, JT. Photo by Eric Espada, Getty Images. On the defensive side of the baseball, things get a little bit more confusing. Defensive statistics are not as much of an exact science as offensive statistics are at this point in time. Baseball Prospectus does a very good job arranging the information that they receive in a way that you can sort through catchers by framing runs, blocking runs, throwing runs and fielding runs above average. Fielding runs above average, or FRAA, is our measurement for the catcher's abilities behind the plate. Just like WAR, FRAA is a good place to start when it comes to looking at a catcher defensively, but there are also many other unquantifiable considerations to take into play. The biggest of these unquantifiable separators is the way a catcher deals with the pitching staff. Dating back to the beginning of baseball, this is what a catcher was looked at for: his ability or lack thereof when it comes to handling a staff. This is something that can only be measured between the heads of two people, the catcher and the pitcher, and not on paper. Defensive rankings: player framing runs, blocking runs, throwing runs. Framel B rank: Buster Posey 4.80.90.24.98, Yadier Molina 4.30.40, 3.1170, T. Realmuto 0.3 to 0.20.1, 1.428, Kurt Suzuki 1.71.1 to 0.2 minus 0.461, San Francisco Cervelli 5.3 to 0.6, 0.1 to 4.688. In this small data set, there is a lot that raises questions about who is the best catcher in baseball. There are 2 points specifically that stand out to me. Suzuki and Cervelli have made a name for themselves as very solid defensive catchers. In 2018, they are swinging the bats well, but that may have led to poor performances behind the dish. Max Stassi, who is just outside of our top 5 so therefore not listed above, deserves some credit. The 27-year-old has one of the more interesting service time dynamics of all time. Stassi has appeared in the big leagues over the last 6 seasons, yet never collected enough service time, so he is still considered a rookie. Rookie or not, some credit needs to go to the guy with a 128 WRC who also happens to be the best defensive catcher in baseball with 8.4 FRAA. His lack of experience is the main reason he sits outside our top 5. Use your arrows to browse.